Maybe let me start by saying a bit about what EIB has been doing the last couple of years. Back in 2019, we initiated with our energy lending policy, which meant that from 2019 onwards, we are not supporting any fossil fuel investments anymore. In 2020, we launched a climate bank roadmap, and the climate bank roadmap had three big targets. First, by 2025, at least 50% of our financing would be towards climate action, and we've already exceeded that target last year. Second, we would only invest in projects which are fully Paris aligned and confirmed as Paris aligned. And third, in the decade to 2030, we would be supporting €1 trillion of climate action projects. So the EIB has made a big shift towards renewable energy and to being the climate bank of the EU. Now here in Kenya, for example, we have supported the Lake Turkana wind farm, which is the largest wind farm in Africa, supplying 17% of Kenya's grid capacity. We've supported Hokkaido geothermal plants for decades. And those are two milestone projects here in Kenya, for example, which helps the East African energy capacity network. So what we need to do to continue bringing more energy capacity and security to East Africa is also unlock the private sector. To unlock the private sector, the public sector can take the lead and we can help with grants and technical assistance, but we also need to really bring the private sector on board. And for that, we need to de-risk some of the projects, which means we will need to have more grants available, technical assistance. We need to have guarantees to de-risk projects, and we need to also bring on board project de-risking capacity, meaning governments and other stakeholders need to have more in-house capacity to design and implement green projects. What we finally need is, for example, Kenya and many other Eastern African countries have a huge abundance of renewable energy sources, and we need to bring them online. So Kenya's electrification rate has already grown dramatically for the last decade, from 27 to 80%, and we are here to support to bring this to 100% in the next few years. We've been working with Kenya Power and Lighting Company to work on transmission and distribution networks and to bring energy also to rural and more remote areas. We've also worked with the private sector here with a company called Light. The company provides solar solutions for individuals and small businesses, making solar products and solar energy more affordable for them. In Uganda, we've worked with ENGIE, bringing solar solutions to more than 1.4 million people in Uganda. So these are some examples. And then again, maybe similar to what I said in my first answer, we need to bring also the private sector on board. And I don't want to repeat everything, but it means bringing more guarantees, bringing technical assistance, and bringing insurance products that will make the private sector more comfortable to come into the sector at scale. Mm-hmm. So, Kenya is a good example of a country that's able to run on almost 100% renewable energy. We have been a strong supporter of bringing Kenya to such a high level of renewable energy. And that has enabled and basically attracted other investors, DFIs, and also private capital into the sector. It's providing for a stable network here in Kenya, which is also great for job creation and for youth, for the young people to find high-level jobs. The EIB has been, I think one of the key decisions has been that we also support private equity funds. So that makes us less reliable necessarily on only public sector money. Private equity funds are big supporters of energy projects in the region with equity, so not only debt but also providing equity to companies, which I think is a key part of the success. And finally, I would like to mention that we are a big supporter of working in partnerships. We've been working together with the World Bank, with IMF, with AFD, Proparco, KfW, many people, FMO, I mean, too many to name. And working together helps us to join forces, to join and kind of share our knowledge and experience. That makes due diligence go quicker, faster, and hopefully also makes disbursements, which is eventually what's really needed, go quicker.
So as said before, we have heavily invested in energy generation capacity, but that's not all we do. It's also very important now, and an area of interest to us is to support transmission and distribution part of the energy sector. This will be the only way to actually deliver energy cost effectively to the population.